All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Stock Market Prep. I hope you're having an amazing morning. Hope you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How you doing today?
Hey, Carlos. I am doing good. I wanted to take a moment right off the top just so we get started. It is 9/11 today, which means that, it's. I remember distinctly 23 years ago when the attacks happened in New York and, of course, in Washington, and how shocking it was when it occurred. And I just thought we should take a moment, all of us, to just remind ourselves of how important it is as a society and as individuals that we always defend against hate in our society, protect those who need it, and make sure we support each other at all times. It's important as we go through our lives that we remember these things, and this day, probably more than most, I want everybody to take a moment and think about that. All right. That being said, we do have work to do here. We did have some economic data that came out just a minute ago. Today is all about CPI. Really, it's CPI in all its forms. We have the base consumer price index, we have the year-over-year numbers, the core CPI, and then, of course, the core year-over-year. Basically, it all came out right on target. Depending on which service you look at, the CPI came out maybe 0.1% higher in the month, but basically, it all seems to average back to anticipated norms. So, not much to report there, which is interesting. That the market did actually sort of react when it happened, though. You can see a drop in the market. Both the SPY and the Qs had a drop. It looks like it's recovering a little bit. So surprised to see that drop in light of the fact that the numbers came out pretty much right on target. But we'll see if that continues and if that holds through the morning. For those of you earlier this morning, a lot in our chat room were talking about some data issues. It looked like there was some issue with the NASDAQ data feed to a lot of services. Looks like that's being resolved. My data looks a little bit better, Carlos. Hopefully I wasn't getting any like volume or percentage moves on a lot of stuff, but it looks like it's come back in now. And the data's looking a little bit better, so that's good.
Yeah, I'm checking some of the few tickers that I have here, and they look okay. Nvidia, Apple, so have not ran into one yet, so maybe it's taken care of. So we'll see. All right, friends, let's take a look at our gappers list. Wait, we have here's economic data already, right? You went through that, so I was typing here. So we're good there, right? The CPI.
Yeah. Yep. We just did that.
Okay, excellent. All right, so let's take a look, guys, at our gappers list. I got children placed up this morning, up 58%. That's a nice pop. 1.5 million shares traded. So as you can see here, we're definitely moving in the right direction. Peter, what's going on with children placed this morning?
That's a good question. I didn't look at that one. Hold on a sec. We'll find out. I was just looking at the banks here just to see if there's any updates on the banks. It looks like they had earnings. It wasn't something that I was following here in the children's place. This is the one that I always think should trade, but it doesn't usually. But anyways, they had earnings. Looks like they beat their numbers in Q2, so they had a positive revenue and bottom line earnings. So that's why it's moving.
All right, there we go. Good volume today, guys. 1.7 million shares traded. This is a lower price stock, so you are going to get volume pretty easy on a stock like this one. But yeah, definitely moving today. I'm going to add in a secondary. We'll see what happens and what comes out of this. I agree that this stock tends to not trade very well, so usually doesn't make our list. But today it looks like it's very, very active with that 1.8 million so far this morning. Let's take a look at the next one here, guys. MCO. So if we look at MCO, that shouldn't be here. So Moody's Corporation, garbage truck for that. UHS, another one. We'll move on down. AMCR, nope, no good. And then last one doesn't look good either. PHG. Okay, so that only children's place showing on the gappers list this morning. If there are more guys that are not showing here, we know there's issues with our scanners. You could throw it in chat, and Peter and I will take a look at it. Before we jump over to the gap down, Peter, anything you like that's gapping up and might not be on this list?
Yeah, well, not much, but I will mention one Play, Play, which is their Dave and Buster's. They had earnings after the close yesterday. They were one that I was looking at there. They missed their revenue, but beat on earnings and are, I mean, they're gapping up, but only marginally today. No volume really, but I mean, they're up 12%, but it doesn't mean much because the volume's so low. So, um, but that was one that I was looking at. I think everything else, other than some of the standard, like interesting, the semiconductor sector is all down except for Nvidia, which is like playing around right at the break even mark. It's green at the moment, but it could be red any second. So, but yeah, the semis are mostly down. I noticed Amazon is also playing around right at the zero mark here. So anything that's green is just barely green. Overall, this market looks fairly depressed this morning, which is probably not a surprise, right? After the big presidential debate last night. And guys, we're not going to get into politics and that, but I mean, where it affects the markets, I mean, generally we're seeing the markets seem to, I assume, and react to it as the markets are down a little bit after that event last night. Although there's a couple other factors out there. Like we did have the banks big move down in the middle of the day yesterday in the banking sector. Probably around, what is that, around noon, I guess, or midday yesterday. That was in response to the fact that the Federal Reserve announced their capital requirement rules, which the banks had pushed back on because the Federal Reserve was going to increase the capital requirements. They issued a revised statement, which was much lighter than the initial requirements they were going to publish. However, a lot of the CEOs of the major banks, like JP Morgan Chase, Goldman Sachs, Ally Financial, all came out and said that they have concerns over their bank's income statement and balance sheet, especially in response to those federal rules. So if you look at any of the bank stocks yesterday, you know they don't typically move a lot, but yesterday suddenly they were all like moving heavily. So a little bit of a surprise there. I know some of our members in the room were mentioning it, so we were taking a look at that. But that was the reason, and we'll see what happens today. I mean, so far I just taken a peek here a minute ago at a couple of the banks, and they don't seem to be too bad, right? They're only down, you know, a little bit, but they've got, you know, slightly above average volume. It could be another depressed day here on the banks. We'll see what happens, but yeah, let's get to that because we got a lot of stuff on the gap down list that we can talk about.
Yeah, we sure do. Let's jump onto that one, guys. So leading the way here is going to be RALY. So not play, but RLY, which is Relay Therapeutics. This one is down 23%. Doesn't look good. 23%, 381,000 shares traded. So as you can see here, not a great trading stock. Peter, any news on this one? I mean, I'm not interested at all in something that looks like this on the daily, but in case anyone else is.
No, this is just a secondary offering. Not typically the best thing to play. It's a pretty big one. They only have about 91 million shares in their float. They're issuing another 28 million shares in the secondary at an offer price of $7, which you can see was significantly below the price, which was a weird move for them to make, but probably because this had been in the offing for a while and they couldn't modify it. But yeah, that's what's dragging the stock down, of course, because you issue another 30% of your share volume at a price below average. People are going to say, well, clearly my shares at $9 aren't worth that. I'm getting out here. So that's what's going on.
Yeah, I don't like these type of stocks that just look brutal. So not in my playbook here. We're gonna head over to NTO. So if we look at RTO, excuse me,
RTO,
RTO
yeah.
this morning. Oh, this is
This is
garbage.
Rento
Yeah,
Kill.
yeah.
Rento.
Unless you have anything to share with them, I'm gonna just drop to the next
Well,
one. Um,
it trades poorly because it's a dual traded stock. They did issue a pretty severe profit or a sales warning for their North American division, and they lost like $2.6 billion worth of valuation on the London Stock Exchange earlier this morning. So RTO is just sort of catching up with that, and it's big 20% gap down here. Not a good day for Rento Kill. They are getting killed. Sorry, I had to do it.
uh,
even felt
Nice.
bad saying it, but I had to do it. All right, so there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
That's the story. But it's not likely to trade well. That dual trading makes it a little more challenging.
Absolutely. Horrible. Let's find here. The next one is going to be DJT. So DJT, friends, another one that's down this morning, and 310,000 shares traded, 13%. And I guess this kind of reflects how they feel about Trump's performance yesterday. So down today quite a bit. Hard to borrow on the stock, so you can short it. And I never really liked the stock to begin with, so I won't be watching it. Peter, anything else to share on this?
Yeah, no, like you said, this is really just in reaction to the debate, I would assume. There's really no news on the company itself, but you would expect that, right? Like if either candidate was to own a company, as Trump does, or at least has the majority stake in this thing, yeah, it's going to react when you're sort of in the limelight like that. So I don't know if it's going to stay tradable throughout the day. Might be fun to watch just to see what it does. I mean, it's certainly the talk it's if people are talking about it, but yeah, whether it'll be tradable, like you said, Carlos, I've never liked trading it, so yeah, I'll probably watch it, but just out of sort of like like watching a train wreck, just to see what happens. You gonna mute, Carlos? Where did Carlos go?
I am on mute. Yeah, sorry
Oh,
about
there he
that.
is.
I don't know what's
Okay.
going on with this system since I moved back here. Yeah, it like automatically freezes my camera and mutes my mic. So either I'm hitting some kind of combination of hotkeys that's creating that. But yeah, we will have to check out what happened. All right. Let's see the next one on here, guys. GameStop. Wow, look at GameStop. We haven't seen you in
Yeah.
some time. What are we up to here? Not in the right direction, gapping down 13%, almost a million shares traded. Any news? I know Trump tried to save the kitties yesterday. So is a kitty over there doing some stuff? What's happening at GameStop?
No, GameStop had earnings after the close yesterday. It was the big one we were watching. It wasn't that exciting, frankly, after the close. It really couldn't decide what to do, but their earnings were mixed. They missed on revenue, which is really the why it's gapping down so much. Had a surprise beat on earnings, though. The expectation was they were going to lose 9 cents a share. They actually made 4 cents. So big swing on the earnings side, but yeah, revenue was less than expected, and that does not make the analysts happy for the long-term prospects. So good that they made a little money in the short term, I guess, but not so good that their revenue continues to drop. So I don't know, Carlos. We've talked about this before, but they say that I think I was reading a report that said almost 2/3 of all the malls in America, and it used to be the mall. I mean, when I was a kid, right, 80s, 90s, the mall was like the place to
Yeah,
go, man. It was like
yeah,
you know
yeah.
you go to the mall. That's what you do. And anyways, malls are dying, and GameStop is a mall type of store, right? I mean, that's where they all exist. And
I,
yeah, two-thirds of the malls in the U.S. have either closed or are on life support and are about to close, and that's a problem. So, um,
it is, Peter, but I tell you, man, I got a few malls here. If you're in North Jersey, American Dream. We have Paramus Garden State's a big one too. There's no parking spots. So what are people doing? Just showing up and just walking around? Like, what's going on? It is packed every single day, Peter. Every day
wow.
I drive by there.
Okay,
So
well,
I don't understand what people are doing.
maybe there's hope.
So yeah, but
Malls
yeah,
definitely scream.
I think that with the malls dying, and then that business also just who's buying stuff there, right? When you can download it from the comfort of your home whenever you want. So it's just a weird business model still alive somehow. Um, but yeah, it's on here, guys. I could be interesting today, Peter. Do you like this one today? You're gonna have it on your list?
I don't know. I'm gonna let Jared tell me if it's something to watch. If Jared's around, I hope Jared's doing well. By the way, he wasn't available this morning for engineering the markets. That I assume means that he got hit by this storm, right? That he was tracking and anticipating. And we had a great picture shared in our. I don't know if you have that out there, Brent, anywhere, but somebody, anyways, posted. I don't think it was Jared, but I'm not sure. It was some guy running around shirtless with a horse head, just being crazy in advance of the storm. But
Give me one
anyways,
sec.
it
I'll get it.
was that.
I'll get it. Give me 1 second.
There you go. You'll get that. But anyways, we hope Jared's doing well because I know he's anticipating the storm hitting Louisiana and hitting where he is. So hopefully he's okay. Especially anybody who's in the path of the storm. Be safe. There he is. There is that Jared? I'm not sure. It could be. That's, no wonder he didn't stick around for the GameStop earnings yesterday, which I thought was odd. Now I know why, because he had things to do. This was it. So, I'm just kidding. That's not Jared. At least I don't think so. But
I think
anyway.
we can safely assume it might be Jared.
I mean, it's possible. It's within the realm of possibility. The likelihood, however, is low. I don't know. It could be. Anyways, all right, guys. Yeah. So what were we talking about? Oh yeah, we're talking about GameStop. GameStop. I don't know. I might put it on my list just to watch. I've got some extra space here where I could just see if it does anything. But I haven't traded GameStop in quite a while. But hey, if there's going to be a day when it might come back into play, today might be it. So I'll put it over there with DJT and just see what happens out of interest.
Yeah, let's take a look at the next one here, friends. It's going to be CLSK, and this will make me think of MAR and some other Bitcoin type tickers this morning. So CleanSpark down 4.6, 360,000. Not my favorite one to look at when Bitcoin is in play. I will usually look at Mara or Coin. Mara down 4.1, 281,000. I mean, the volume is not that significant at the moment. And then Coin down 3.2 with 84,000 shares traded. So again, at the moment, looking pretty light. Mara was great yesterday, so I'll watch them again today for a possible second day play. They had an amazing day when a lot of stuff was selling off. They just kept moving higher. So this was really, really nice. So you can see it there on the intraday action from yesterday on the 5-minute. They traded very, very well. So I'll keep an eye on Mara. Peter, anything to add as far as Bitcoin goes this morning?
No, Bitcoin's not doing much, actually. The price is pretty stagnant over the last couple of days. So didn't move much. I mean, it's down marginally, but didn't move that much after the debate. The anticipation was that it might move depending on the debate outcome, but it doesn't look like that was really the case. So, yeah, it's nothing to report, really.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on, friends. Look at the next one, HMY, another one that I typically don't have on my list. It just trades horrible, and it shouldn't be here. Actually, the volume is only 100,000 shares traded, so I'm going to move on for that. For the sake of time, we'll go over to MSTR. Okay, we're getting into some garbage zones here, so be careful, guys. Garbage incoming. Down 2.7. This one shouldn't be here either, so we'll move on to INDV, and you know what? We'll stop here. Peter, anything you like on the gap? The garbage truck just keeps coming. Peter, anything you like on the gap down this morning?
we got a lot of garbage to take out today. Yeah, I think the usual suspects, generally are gapping down. As I said, this whole semiconductor sector. Well, not the whole semiconductor. Now AMD is also marginally green, but I mean, we're talking marginally. Nvidia is barely there. Everything else, Intel, MU, SMCI, they're all sort of down this morning. So I think we got to see what's going to happen there. Feels like they're going to slide at the open, but you never know. Tesla is interestingly down this morning, and it's I don't know. I mean, it had sort of a good afternoon yesterday, but the morning was actually looking pretty weak to me. It had a pop at the open and then sold off. I was surprised to see that recovery sort of midday on Tesla. So we'll see what happens today. Yeah, there's sort of yesterday's chart. Well, half of yesterday's chart on Tesla. And yeah, you can see how it sort of popped at the open, sold it all off. And I thought, okay, this is it. Because once it broke the opening level to the low at noon, I thought, yeah, we're going to slide. But it sort of made a full recovery, which I thought was interesting right into the close. So don't know what to expect out of Tesla today. But once again, it continues to show, it moves. It can get, good moves on the day. So it's worth keeping an eye on, as always. Other than that, yeah, the usual suspects. Apple, not doing much. Apple was a little disappointing for a trading stock, I thought, after the release of their magnificent new phone. But you can tell I'm being a little facetious there. I'm waiting. when is Apple going to come out with a new product? I mean, seriously, like how long could, I mean, look, their stock is still up. So, but how long can you continue to milk the same damn
I don't
product?
think they can, man. I don't think you can come up with
Like,
something. The phone is done. It does what it does. You don't need to come up with something else. I'll give you a great example, Peter. You look at the PlayStation 2 controller, right? They came out with this controller back in, guys, help me out, 20 years ago. It's
oh
the
yeah.
same style. It doesn't change. Why? Because it works and it's rated one of the best controllers since 20 years ago. You can't upgrade that thing no more. What are you going to do to it? It is what it is, right? So they got to focus on software and service. And AI is not going to be it because they're not going to spend billions of dollars like Microsoft and Google is when they could just take their technology and put it on their phones, and people are still going to be like, "Oh yeah, my iPhone does this," even though they spent $0 on it, right? So I don't think you could really, you get to a limit where that's it. That's all it is, right? So
Hmm.
I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening.
All right. Well, there you
But we'll
go.
see.
You
Yeah,
heard it here.
it's just yeah. Heard it here first. We might be wrong, but it's okay. All right, friends. That's our gappers list this morning. Let's go to you guys. See what you guys like today. Apple was mentioned. I think Peter mentioned that one already. Again, we'll look at it again quickly. It's just I'm with Peter. It's not doing anything. I don't think it will. I'm surprised we're not getting much of a movement here. The numbers dropped the stock a little bit, came back up, and it's just kind of stuck there, right? So not much happening. Let's see what else, friends. What else you guys like this morning? PLTR, another one that was active a couple of days ago. Yesterday didn't have a great day as it did the day before, and today you got the volume like you usually do, down 2.6 and 2.3 million shares traded. But I don't know. Can it drop here and be in play? Maybe. So maybe a possible. Again, it's a hit or miss with this one, really. So we'll put it on a possible for now. I mean, I like the volume, like the gap down. We'll just have to see where we go from here. I see Amazon being mentioned. Let's take a look at Amazon. Pretty quiet, only 177,000. I mean, what are we waiting for? I thought we were waiting for the CPI data, right? I guess we got to wait for the market open and see where the volume comes in. But keep in mind, we're still in September and things are slower than usual, right? So you're not getting a lot of big movements in the overall market. So I don't see Amazon as in play right now, but always a great one to keep an eye on in case it does hit the scanners and you do start getting some kind of volume. GME by Next Level over on YouTube. We just talked about this. Yeah, Peter and I just talked about this quite a bit. Um, they are in play. I'm always concerned adding this into my list because my strategy doesn't work that well on GameStop. It is so it could be so choppy at the market open. So I'm always concerned in putting it on my list. But you know what? It is in play. The numbers are there. It is down 11%. Uh, I'll add it on here, but I highly doubt I'm going to trade it. No. How
Yeah.
about you, Peter? I know you like to trade things when they're kind of gapping down. You're more of a short bias trader. Do you like
Yeah,
GameStop
but
today?
like I said, I'm going to watch it, but probably just not likely to trade it. I wanted to. You mentioned how hey, I thought we were waiting for this. Waiting for this data, the CPI data, and because it came in pretty much on target, I think that's why the markets aren't doing much and reacting this morning. We do have the PPI data and jobless claims coming out tomorrow, but the big number continues to be the expectation of what is going to be the rate change issued by the Fed next Wednesday on the 18th. And the sentiment is moving heavily now back to only a quarter point drop. We've been watching this all week. Remember, it started about where it is right now. This chart that I'm showing you is current data that says we're 85% expecting a quarter point drop, 15% expecting a half point drop. Over the course of the last 2 weeks, it had gone from this to like almost 60% expecting a half point right back to this point. So it's interesting how it's sort of done that sort of shift and back to where we started, which is where I will say, for the record, my view never changed from. So I'm not sure whether I should, anyways, I'm supported by the majority now, but when everybody expects something, that's often when they say in the markets, you got to be extra careful, because as soon as everybody believes something to be true, that's usually when you get very, surprise moves in the market. So just we got to be careful, right, as to what's happening. I'm always cautious. I never, just because I think something's going to happen, and the fact that everybody might agree with me, that will actually make me more nervous rather than confident in my assessment. Because all that has to happen is, if it comes out slightly off of that expectation, right, everybody jumps ship, and that's when you see these massive swings in the market. So I still think Wednesday is going to be very interesting when we get there, but we still have 4 trading days until then. So let's enjoy them. Let's go
Yeah.
through them. But for the
Yeah.
moment, yeah.
Yeah. And also too, our gappers lists have not been great throughout this week, but we've been getting some good activity after the market opens. So again, things are not looking
Right.
great right now, but who knows? Once that bell rings, what kind of action we're going to get. Obviously, Tesla is going to be on deck. We haven't talked about Nvidia yet, and I haven't seen anyone mention it in chat. But Nvidia, speaking of Nvidia, we're starting to get some kind of movement. 4.7, I like that.
I,
4.7 million shares traded, and we are up almost 1%. So things are, how about the SPY? Things are just kind of moving here. All right, SPY's trying to go green. So that could be interesting if we can get into the green territory here on
I,
the SPY. But
And I had
that's
a
going to help a lot
great
of
day
stocks.
trading yesterday. Like you said, we
Hmm.
didn't have a lot on the list, but those are the days I like most. They seem to lend well to my strategy. I think I ended up over 20R. We measured basically 20 times the risk. So it was a fantastic day yesterday. And sort of it always seems to happen for me on days when you don't get the big, strong movement and massive watch list. So that's why I don't mind them, right? I'll just wait, and when the
Yeah,
opportunity
yeah.
comes, like a crocodile at the watering hole, I will just I will feed.
Awesome. I like NVIDIA quite a bit here, guys. Continue to move, trying to get to yesterday's highs. You can see there on the levels that we have. So that looks interesting going on our list for sure. All right, let's take a look at a few more since we are a little bit ahead of time here. ALB by Eric over in our chat. If I look at this one, we're up 13%, 248,000 shares traded. I know we've seen this stock before. They trade very light volume throughout the trading day. So I'm not a huge fan of it. I like the gap of 14%. On a day like today where we do have space, maybe you can have this on your secondary list. I just don't like the way this stock looks, right? So I won't be adding it to my list. I think I'd rather focus on some other things that trade a little bit better. But it is somewhat in play today. Peter, is there any news? I know you probably have not had the opportunity to look this one up. Any news? A 14% gap up seems quite a bit here on ALB.
Al
So I'm not sure.
Albemarle Chemicals, Albemarle Corp. Their company name is just hard to say. I have no idea. I don't see any news on it.
Okay, that definitely doesn't help their cause for me to watch this stock, but yeah, it's gapping up. I like the gap up. Other than that, I don't like anything else on the stock here, so I'm gonna skip it. Philip, you're giving us Nvidia, Tesla. We do have POTR. We do have in the spot. So yeah, you got our list there. All good, my friend. And yeah,
ALB
let's call it here.
gapping up. Huh.
I have it gapping up 13.8. Is your data looking good, or is my data looking bad? I showed
No,
13.8
no,
gap
no.
up
That is what it
248,000.
says. The only piece of news I find is I think it must be a competitor to them. Then one of their competitors, uh, China has suspended operations in 2 of their mines, which I guess would
Oh,
be good news for them if they could pick up that business. If
yes.
they had to stop operating these mines, lithium mines. So we know that lithium's in high demand with all of the electric cars out there, demanding lots and lots of it. But it's yeah. Other than that, I don't see any direct news for them.
Yeah. Um, yep. So there it is, friends. That could be interesting. Again, I'm not a big fan of the way that's moving right now. All right, let's stop here. Peter, let's go over to our website, bearbootraders.com, and check out what is happening for the next 2 weeks. You can look at that at bearbootraders.com. Towards the top, you're going to be able to click on, if I can get there, webinars. And once you do that, you can see what's happening for the next 2 weeks in our community. Today, we'll focus on today's Wednesday.
Yeah, and yesterday we were very fortunate to have Thor deliver his webinar last night. So thank you, Thor, for that. A great session as always. And for all of our elite members, that is recorded and available in the Education Center. Tonight, it's about psychology, and our psychology webinar is going to be presented by Wesley Altman tonight. He's going to be talking about the journey to mental resilience. That one's at 8 o'clock, usual time, as always, usual place in the webinar room for all, again, our elite members. So hopefully you'll join us for that. And then next week on Wednesday, September the 18th, that's the big day when the rate cut announcement or the rate change announcement, whether it's a cut or not, will be happening. Anyways, but Randy Howell is going to talk at the end of that day, once again at 8 o'clock, talking about how you can crack the code for a disciplined trading mindset. So that will be next week. This week, tonight, don't forget, we got the Journal to Mental Resilience going to be talked about by Wesley. So hopefully you'll join us at that webinar. If you want information on the markets at any time, we'll always send you to the one place, tradingterminal.com. We hope you visit there and join us. It's great data, great information. We use the scanners in the morning. You can use those all day, by the way. They'll tell you what's gapping, the turbo breakup and breakdowns. There's all sorts of scanners out of the box that you can take a look at, or you can actually build your own, completely configure them however you want. So this is a screen, for example, that has been customized. And you can see you can add news in there and can do all sorts of things. Or you can use a screen that has just a bunch of scanners that come, like I said, like right out of the box when you first go in there. They're all there. So there you go. That's the one out of the box. You can see we got extreme reversals, the halts, high of day volumes, all sorts of stuff in there. So, and if you want to build them, you can build brand new ones. So check it out. And if you want to join us at Bearable Traders, we love having new members as part of the chat room because it's having people like you in the chat room that make it so awesome, right? We had a lot of fun yesterday and profitable time. I said I had a big profitable day yesterday, so I was very happy by that. But one of my great trades was off of stuff that people were calling out. I had a good trade on JP Morgan only because people in the room were mentioning it. I had a trade on Apple because people had pointed out that it was moving. So I really benefited yesterday, frankly, from our members mentioning things that they were looking at that I maybe wasn't paying attention to. But if you want to join us, we have a number of membership options for you. The intro offer, it gives you access to our chat room for 1 week, and it's really just a way to get introduced. You see it for $39. If you go to our website, that's the cost. However, Andrew has said he wants to extend that $1 offer. So if you're on YouTube right now, you should be able to get that for just $1. In fact, I think ABL posts up that link you can go to get that $1 offer. So it's not $39, it's $1. Why $1? Well, because we all of the bots and the spammers in there. So we really just want to make sure that those who want to give a tryout to the room, they can get access to that. So check it out, and you can take advantage of that offer at any point in time. If you wanted to join, the basic or elite monthly packages are there. If you want to, book long term, or the best deal, really what you need to consider is that elite annual, because not only do you get access to the chat room and all of these webinars we keep talking about, but you get a $50,000 funded traded account. It's better than just getting the account. If you make money following the rules on that, you will actually get paid. It is a simulator account, but Andrews will pay you real dollars if you make money, because we want to encourage people to learn to trade for the long term. And if you demonstrate you can do that, we want to reward it. So we think it's good for the community and good for everybody. So that's why he's willing to take that risk on you. So check out the Elite Annual. The details are on our website, bearabletraders.com. You can find out all about it. So Tourist is asking, when will the payout happen? Well, that payout happens based on, it depends on when you sign up, right? There's a time that you need to work it. Again, the details are in there. It's after a certain period of time trading within the account if you do it consistently, and again, against the rules that we lay out. And then again, the rules are just to make sure people aren't gaming the system. All right. So there you go. There's all the offers for you. We've got a couple of levels to set, and then it's actually going to be Carlos and Thor trading live at the Open today. So that'll be awesome.
Yeah, looking forward to it, man. All right, friends, let's jump in here, do some levels. I'm looking at AMD. AMD is also moving pretty nice. I'm going to add AMD to our list here. So I have Tesla, GameStop, moving up now a bit here, and have Nvidia trying to get to above the high from yesterday, and then we also have AMD. So not a bad list so far this morning. Let's start with Tesla. We'll do some levels here towards the bottom. You got plenty of good stuff happening there, so you don't need to add anything else besides the low of the pre-market, and the rest is all done for you because we've been hanging out here. So the highs and lows of the last two trading days are doing a great job of getting those levels set up for you there. Above the pre-market high today, we do have 228.18, so we'll slam one there. And then slightly above that, we do have 231.76. So once you do that, guys, you're set on Tesla. And I like what I'm seeing there as far as that goes. Let's look at in GameStop. GameStop, again, probably my least favorite out of all the ones that are in here, but they are in play, down 10%. This morning, 2030 is the low of the pre-market. Your high is sitting over at a 2140, so we'll slam a level there as well. And then if we look towards the top above that, there's a nice area here on the daily where there's just so much going on. 2245, if you draw a line right across the board there, you can see that has tons of touches, a lot of days opening, closing, slamming into that, whether support or resistance. So I definitely want to have that level on deck. Below the low of the pre-market, just in case we do decide to mess things up here, 1989 is a good one, and all the way down here, 1891 for GameStop. Nvidia is next. We got some good volume as always, 6.7 million shares traded already. Always exciting to see that type of volume on Nvidia. High of the pre-market, 109.70. So we'll put a level there, and then above that, friends, we do have an area right around 112. 36. This probably was the high from a couple of days ago, but you can see even here going back into June, we have just tons of stuff happening there. A lot of days opening, closing, slamming into that, and above that, another great area on the daily, very clean daily with these levels, right? So you can see that here at a 116.59. Again, that would be a stretch. You need a lot to get going. But this stock has no problems putting in, $5 days. It's done it plenty of times if it gets the momentum and the market behind it to get moving. Let's take a look at AMD, similar to Nvidia, also moving higher here, got a nice little pop here at 9 o'clock. Some volume coming in there, moving them north here. 144.80 is the high on AMD, and then above that, guys, we do have 149.75. Looks like a really good level, so we'll have that there as well. And then 155.21. So once you do that, you're pretty set when it comes to AMD. Towards the bottom here, we do have 146.77. And I think you're pretty much set when it comes to AMD. Towards below the pre-market low, which is 141.85. You got the highs and lows for the last two trading days, doing an amazing job. So that is our list, guys. We got Tesla, GameStop, Nvidia, and AMD this morning, and we'll keep looking at PLTRs pushing volume around, but not really moving anywhere after gapping down 2%. We have Mara here as well, which can be interesting if we do decide to close this gap down that we had in the last couple of hours. And then Children's Place got tons of volume. I'd have it here just for entertainment purposes to see what it does. It is hard to borrow, so you can't short it. So again, we'll see where this 40% gap up goes today. All right, Peter, I know we're a bit early, so a lot of our moderators have not put their list together yet. Anything else on your end that you like that you're looking at today?
No, you've got to get something in the background there. I just every time we get a full screen of you, Carlos, it's like, I don't know, I feel
It's
like you're in a
horrible.
studio somewhere in a fake room. It's
Yeah,
it's so weird.
it's so bad. You gotta see how bad it is, man.
It's so
It
clean
is
in
so
there,
much
right?
work.
It's such a brand new room.
It's not. It's too much. I gotta get some trees or something in here. But let me send Brent this picture of what it looks like now. It is so undone, but this has been so much work. I did not realize how much work this was going to be. I'll be honest. And yeah, I'll send a picture so you get so Brent can pull it up if I could find this thing here.
Yeah, it's always a lot more work than you expect, when you're doing a
Oh,
renovation or improvements
and
to the
a
house. So
lot more money. Oh my
yeah.
goodness. My budget was like double. I'm like, what is happening? It just shows you the cost of materials. It's just everything is so expensive, man. It is wild.
Yeah.
We have to get you a neon sign like Brian.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
We need some
Yeah,
set
that'd be
deck
nice.
I should get
budget.
one of those too. Yeah. But I just need to get a camera that focuses. What, my camera's unfocused again. Anyways,
It's
coming
just,
back. All right. I hope we have a good day today. I'm looking forward to today's trading because I'm seeing things start to move now. Remember how the semiconductor was all red when we started talking? It's pretty much all green now. So look at this. We're moving on up here in the sector. And I noticed the SPYs and the Qs, they made that initial drop right off of the CPI announcement. But like I said, the numbers came in pretty much right on target. So really wasn't much to report. But look how everything's moving up now. We're green, getting green. Started red this morning, getting green. So that's a good sign, actually.
Yeah, it is. Looking forward to it.
There you go.
So
That's
there
where
it is.
Carlos is sitting.
Oh, so I just they got the windows, right. So windows are installed on the other side. Still waiting on Home Depot and their rug. So I haven't brought in furniture because I don't want to move it back out when they have to install the
Wow.
rug. So uh this has been so much work, man. It's a little room. It's 17 by 13. It's been so much work. It's crazy.
Well,
But
let's
yeah. No.
and now everybody can start. Give Carlos your comments on his cable management.
I have a few things to say, but I'll do that
That's
after.
No,
usually
I'm
the first
not.
thing.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not organizing anything, man, until this rug is put in. So it's staying like that until that's done. 'Cause it's gonna
That's
come
like
back down. It's gonna come back
when
down.
I move my camera here. It's usually the first thing. If I take my camera off and I'm like, so let's look under my desk. And oh yeah, there you go. Look at that cable management, baby. Yeah. That's the
I'm not
problem
that
is
much
I've
better.
learned
Yeah,
if you
it's
have a standing desk, the problem with the standing desk is if you actually wanted to do the cable management, you need cables that are like twice as long because then you have to tie them and then they have to be able to move up or down. And I'm tall enough that my desk from a sitting to a standing, it probably goes up about 2 full feet. So that's actually a lot of cable. So anyways, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Friends,
I heard Gonzalo got an eye cramp just looking at it. Yeah, that's why I say I show it to people just to say, like, don't feel bad. Yours is probably better than mine, but I've been living with that for like 7 years now, and it haven't caught on fire yet. So I used to hate it. I used to want like being an IT guy. You go into data centers, and it drive me nuts when you had cables everywhere, and I'd want them all organized. Now I realize it's a lot of work. I'm just I just gave up, and I'm like, whatever. It's fine.
yeah, yeah.
It's also a problem
Um,
if you want to change out a cable, right? As soon as you do the cable management thing, if you have to change one, God, like then you got to undo everything. It's much more challenging.
yeah, I done that before. When I was using 6 monitors, I did that, and never again, man. The more monitors you have, the more complicated this is. You have a lot of monitors, so I can only
Yeah,
imagine
I
the
got
cables.
six on the desk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did that. Ooh, I'm not doing that again. Way too much work, way too many power plugs and HDMI's. Yeah, I'm not doing that again. So just got bigger monitors. Just use 3. I only have 2 right now because I just don't want to install. Uh, as little as possible I want to install before I have to take it back down and get the rug guys in here. So, all
All
right.
right.
Excellent, friends. Right now, overall market dipped into the green, just kind of playing around between the previous day close. Let's get to what our moderators are looking at this morning. But before we do that, let's take a look on what our likes look like today. Let's see how we're looking this morning. So just going to refresh here. Looks like, wow, a low of 167. That is pretty low for 9:15. And that's probably because we haven't asked, which we don't like to bother. But if you're for Trump, hit the like button. If you're for Harris, hit the like button. We don't care who you are, just hit the like button. We love you either way. It doesn't matter to us. But yeah, hit that like button. We really appreciate it. All right, Peter, take us away on what the moderators are looking at this morning.
All right. Well, we've got some of our lists in, and we're going to see some familiar tickers in here. So Pierre's the first one in with NVIDIA, AMD, PLTR, Tesla, and Amazon. We didn't really look at Amazon this morning, but it's on his list. He's going to be watching that. Thor's going to stick to the basics with Tesla and NVIDIA, the overall market indices, SPY and Qs, and he's got Oracle on there, which, hey, I can't argue that. I said I wasn't expecting to trade Oracle yesterday, but had my best trade of the day on it. Megan's keeping it really tight with just Nvidia, so she's got an objective and she's sticking with it. So I can appreciate that. Lenny's going to watch Tesla, Nvidia, GameStop, and PLTR. I'm really just going to watch AMD, Tesla, and Nvidia, but out of interest sake, I'm just going to put an eye to PLTR, DJT, and GME just to see if they do anything. I'll get my popcorn ready in case they move with some fun. Mike is also pretty tight on his list with just Tesla and Nvidia on watch. We've got Phil, who's going to be watching NVIDIA, Tesla, and Apple. He says for now, which means he reserves the right to change his mind, as we all do. And then he did change his mind by adding Amazon. So that's now on his list. And last but not least, Brendan's come in with his list with NVIDIA, DJT, Tesla, Apple, and AMD. As I mentioned a minute ago, we've got some, different traders, right? Brian, who's almost always here, is away today. So Carlos is going to sit in for him. And Andrew is out in, he's about to climb another mountain. So he's been posting images. And if you follow with our newsletter, you would have got his newsletter. And I love the fact that he gave us a link to actually follow his tracking GPS, where not only can you track where he will be on the mountain specifically, you can actually send him messages. So look at him getting all teched up there. So that's pretty cool. So you can Carlos, do you remember the name of the mountain? It's got a funny name. It's something
Mountain Dew. No, not Mountain Dew. Something man to do, something like that. Man child. No, I don't know. But
man child. I think it was Cho Oyo.
Someone will remember.
Cho Oyo. Thank you, Allegro. Anyways, yeah. So yes, he's out climbing another mountain. Anyways, he was showing us his resort that he's staying at now as he's relaxing before he hits the trail. And anyways, he's gonna head up there into the death zone as he likes to do. So. Anyways, it's good for him. I'll leave the mountaintops to him because, frankly, that's not the thing that I'm looking to do. Hey, look at that! John's added some posters for you, Carlos. In the chat.
Did? Where are they? Let me look at the chat here.
We'll let Brent get that image going there for everybody in YouTube. But anyways, and Dalton, it is odd. I'm the mountain pass guy. You're right. I like to trade the mountain passes, not live in them. So there you go. Look at that. Now you're ready to go. All right. Well, we should have a good trading morning. I'm hoping that Jared is okay out there because I do not see him in the chat room anywhere. And he said he wasn't here for engineering the market. So, no, he is. He's logged in though. Jared's logged in. So hopefully that means
hang in there.
He's got power. He's got power. He's got a little connectivity. So that's good. So let's get ourselves ready for this open. Have we got Thor? Is Thor out there yet?
Thor, come on down.
Sure.
Come on down. You're the next contestant on the Trading is Right. I'm watching these markets that I really like the way they're shaping up here. I don't actually know what's going to happen at the open, but I like when we're getting good movement pre-market on NVIDIA, and AMD has taken off now. And I actually even like the way Tesla's moving. They're all moving very well for this time of the morning. So I'm hoping that we get some good movement on our old usuals. So yeah, it's looking good for me.
Yeah, I like that, man. That was funny. I am so tired today that when I went to click on the chat room, I hit the close button and I got completely disconnected. So I had to log back in. But I see the picture here. This is funny. The penny stock pre-market show. That is really good. That is.
We should see. We haven't actually looked at the penny stocks in quite a while. I'm going to take a look here quickly.
Do we have any?
What are the big gainers for
what is
today?
The
Let's
gappers,
see.
gainers.
Yeah. So BCTX. How about that? You guys want to look at a penny stock? BCTX up 216%. 38 million shares traded today. Like these things happen every single day, right? We don't typically look at these. This is a stock that has 14 million shares in its float, and they're what is this company called? BriaCell. It's a biotech out of Canada, And look, they're curing cancer. They have positive survival results for metastatic breast cancer. So, so very positive. I mean, this is a stock that closed at 61 cents yesterday, and now it's up to $1.90. Could you trade this? Absolutely. There are people that make lots of money off these things, but keep in mind,
Oh
there's a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
more people that lose money off of these things. So just be very careful
Select a
if you
few.
trade these.
Yeah.
And I know people ask sometimes. I know that John was just joking about the penny stock stuff, but no, these things happen every single day, right? There are stocks like this that are out there that you can trade, and on the screen you can see, right, that you can just get this list right out of the DAS program, for example, and you can find them, right? They're always available here,
Yeah.
but they're very difficult to manage your risk appropriately, which is why you'll notice in our chat room, we don't typically focus on them because we want stuff where we can consistently make sure that we're managing that risk well, so we don't get ourselves into trouble and lose like a week or a month's worth of profit if a stock just radically moves against us, right? We have a risk profile that we can manage, and we'll only lose what we expect. And yes, it reduces the potential gains on the other side, but net, we think that they're better plays generally. So that's our philosophy, anyways.
Gotta be careful. One, and I have done it before. I traded BPTH a few years back. It's probably one of my single biggest wins, man, on a stock. This thing started to go in play, and it shot up like, I think, was it here? No, it was not there. It was some time ago, but yeah, you can make some money. But if I look at all the low flow stocks that I have traded in the past, it probably ends up on the negative side. So yeah, gotta be careful. Gotta know what you're doing. It's a different style of trading. All right, friends. It is. Go ahead, Peter.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, so you're saying something. Okay. All right, we are set, friends. My watches right now, it is Tesla. I'm looking at GameStop. I'm looking at Nvidia this morning. What else do I have here? I am looking at AMD so far today, and a lot of these semis doing pretty good today. Look at AMD go. Look at Nvidia go. These guys are rocking here. So that could be interesting. But AMD's up 2%. They keep going here, Peter. They're looking very nice and active this morning.
Looking pretty good. I see that we
No,
got Thor. Thor's out there.
Yeah, so someone's asking, did I buy the cable? No.
What?
There's something happening with my system. I don't know what's going on. Where again, I freeze and it mutes the mic. So it's got to be, I don't know. I don't know what's causing it. So yeah, I did buy the cable actually. So I got the cable. The cable is not the problem. It is something in the system causing this freeze and mute to happen. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I just don't think he paid his bill for his dial-up. I think is the problem.
AOL. Oh my goodness. Good times. Good times.
All right, Thor, you guys trade the open well. I'll leave you to it. Have a good one, and we'll probably see you back a little bit later this morning. So trade smart, everybody.
Yep. Thanks.
Hey, Peter. What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Good, man. How are you?
Great,
exhausted, and you can kind of see that a little bit today. I'm making a couple of errors here and there, but other than that, man, can't complain. Can't complain.
No, I'm with you, man. It's dad life going on over there, right? I mean, same thing here. My daughter's school had a sewage backup in it, so her school is shut down for the next month thanks to all the rain here. So I've got my daughter home, and she has decided it's time to party till 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. every single morning. And then my son's schedule has me waking up at 5:30 a.m. every morning. So this is not working well for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this market's rocking and rolling to the top side, buddy. And I bought long at 8:30 when the news came out. I bought the low right at 8:30, 8:32. I got long. I'm in on the ES around 54.73, and I've got a target of I'm actually out if it makes it up just another few points higher. I just need it to get to around 55.12. So I'm just kind of hanging out here. I'm trailing the 50 SMA to see if it makes it before we open. Otherwise, going to make some good money on this one already. So pretty stoked about, kind of a start here, and, we'll see what happens. It might be a good short there, Sarif. Once this thing opens, if it gets a little squeeze, it might need to come back down, but it was a really nice buying opportunity when that 8:30 news came out. Man, we knew all those numbers when they were coming out that we were going to get ourselves at least something going on, and that was quite a move. So get my screen up.
Love it. All right, guys, 5 minutes to the market open, 4.5 here. Looking forward to it. My strategy, for those that you don't get to see me to trade often live, but is to wait 5 minutes, right? I wait 5 minutes. Never trade before 3 minutes after the market open. It's just, if I'm trading 3 minutes before the market open, I'm gambling. So around 3 minutes, sometimes there are some opportunities where you see something pull back and you kind of anticipate the 5-minute ORB. But for the most part, I'm waiting for the 5-minute ORB to be created, right? So that's going to be my plan today. And I think some of these stocks can do that very well this morning, especially NVIDIA and AMD. So, but AMD's getting way too extended already. Look at it go up 2.4 now. And it's just rocking here. So looking really nice towards the market open. What is CPI today? Yeah, CPI is out. That's it. CPI was out this morning. And if you look, that's kind of what Thor was talking about. If you look at the SPY, you can kind of see the reaction. You got an initial drop. The computer's trying to figure out what's going on, and then you're kind of rallying now. So could be taken positive. And it's hard to tell, man. I don't know. When positive news comes out, is it positive? When negative news comes out, is it negative? It's so hard to tell how the market is going to interpret the data. I know next week, that's the one thing that it's going to have a big impact, but it's so hard to kind of understand what the market wants and is looking for. So
I think for me, I think CPI kind of came in right where everyone thought it was going to come in. And I really think for me, I think that's kind of like what's important. I think the market doesn't like unexpected. You know what I mean? So I think part of the reason why we're getting a little bit of a pre-market buy and rally is because everyone was expecting it to be what it was. And even if it's bad news, the market expected, it's kind of baked into the cake a little bit. And, we can often even have rallies on bad news if it's just as bad as everyone thought it was going to be. So it'll be interesting to see once we open. I'm kind of with you. It'll be really interesting to see once we open if we're going to have a really nice market response. Retail's been really light the past couple of days, retail traffic. So it'll be interesting to see if the retailers are ready to come in and start kind of having a little bit of fun with us too.
Yeah. Someone's saying, can I please share my screen? And this is my screen. This is my mouse that I'm moving. So you are looking at my charts right now. So this is my screen that you're looking at the moment.
AMD's order book actually still looks pretty bullish. It's selling a little bit right now. But overall,
I'm sorry, I missed the ticker. Which one?
AMD you were talking about earlier?
Yep.
So it's starting to sell right now, which isn't surprising because it's in a pretty ideal spot to do that. But it'll be interesting to see. I might look for this one for a buy if it can get a nice drop. It'd be a nice buy, anywhere down and around 178.50, somewhere starting around there. So if we can get a nice drop on it, I might try and buy a little later. But its order book actually looks pretty strong, at least institutionally.
Yeah, it's been moving pretty well here. Someone called out ASTS. Volume is pretty low. I was just looking at that. ASTS. I know they've been in play over the last couple of days, right? Actually, it's been a while now, almost 2-3 weeks. But yeah, I'm not sure what to think of it. It's starting to get going here, but volume seems very light. Only 155,000 right now. Any stocks you like, Thor? Let me see your watch list. What do you have on here?
I mean, I like where Tesla is a little bit. And Tesla's been running a pretty nice ATR, and I like Nvidia a lot lately. Again, I kind of pick tickers that have really large ATRs versus their prices. So in this instance, Nvidia and Tesla both have really, I think Nvidia on average its ATR is $11.50. And it's, or Tesla is $11.50, and it's a, $200 stock, and NVIDIA is $6.50 and it's $100 stock. So, it's really nice. I kind of like to target those kind of tickers. So you'll find that something like a Tesla and NVIDIA is on my watch list almost every day, just for those reasons. So you can see ATR in Market Viewer, you can't see it in Market Viewer, but I can show you how to see it in volume chart.
All right, let's rock and roll. There's the bell. Volume is coming in. Let's see what's getting some action here. Look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA's going.
Ding, ding, ding. Well, that's a hard sell right at the open there. I went ahead and went out at the cross of the 50 on that on my pre-market position. So that was really nice. Netted about 500 on that pre-market position. So started off the day a little low pressure start to the day now.
Yep. Wow, look at Tesla. Nice drop on Tesla there. That's something Brian would have been trading already. He's like, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till I take a trade. I'm in Tesla short. I love it. Missed the guy already.
Oh, all the time. All the time.
Yeah. Like, I'm gonna wait a little bit, and he's patient. That he's the first one in. But he's an amazing trader. So there's Tesla doing some movement, and this is why I like to avoid trading before 3 minutes, because it's just all this up and down. Let's wait for things to settle down and kind of wait for a good 5-minute ORB setup. GameStop not doing a whole lot. Nvidia is rocking, man. Nvidia's just made a new high of the day there, and volume is just insane. 14 million already on Nvidia. Really strong. What's the daily level on this? I have 112.36, and it might just get there. So let's see. How does the bookmap
Nvidia's
look?
Right at R4 on Nvidia.
Yeah.
Let me look. I like where Nvidia's at, but not. We'll have to see for a long. It needs to for it to be a long. I actually need it to break up and then come back and test. I actually look at it for a short here. The way it's running into R4.
Yeah, I wouldn't long it here after breaking out like that so
Order
much.
book's actually got some downside orders too. Let me see what it looks like. I'm loading my book right now. So a large order at 110.50. It's an iceberg. So that's what we just rejected off of a second ago, right at R4. The order book actually is relatively stacked to the top side towards 111 right now, but we're not quite getting buy side volume in. So, but it looks like right now they want to push it, but just, kind of hang tight. But it looks right now they want to move upwards. But
yeah, a strong volume coming in there on Nvidia.
Seller's still holding.
Not setting up great for a 5-minute RB. So let me look at something else, because that's too extended. If I want to take a 5-minute RB, AMD might be a better option if we don't get too extended here. So we're coming on minute 3. This might be a better look for a 5-minute RB breaker, because you got the volume and you haven't gotten too extended from VWAP yet. So let's see what we do here with AMD, GameStop, Tesla. Let's see if AMD can get something going here. Children's Place halted. PLCE. Oh, yeah, look at that. Yeah, this is going to be a wild stock to trade. I'm not interested in this one. Be careful on that one. Yeah, AMD is looking good, guys. I mean, we're above the VWAP here. We haven't gotten too extended in the last couple of minutes, unlike NVIDIA.
AMD is in a selling range, so careful with longs.
Yeah,
you might want to let it break and here. Back test. Otherwise, this one, I'm loading the book on it right now. I'll try and see if I can see what it's.
Let's see how it sets up here. NVIDIA coming back down a little bit, or lots. Let's see. GameStop, Tesla. Man, Tesla was a great short here. They gave you a nice pull back to the VO. That would have been a great opportunity to go short, but I wasn't looking at it. Look at that nice drop on it. AMD. Oh, now it looks ugly. Below the VWAP.
I went ahead and threw a short in on AMD at the loss of 145.50. My stop's going to be the gain of pre-market high. If it squeezes out, that'll be my loss for the day. I like the order book. It's got a big order at 144 that I think is going to pull the price, and we were struggling to move higher volume wise. So the market's also rolled over and is selling a little bit. So it kind of fits like a good spot to give that a go.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't jump in early stab, because if you waited for the 5 minutes, this drop here kind of killed the 5 minute ORB move towards the top. And then I just don't trust it towards the bottom here. Maybe if we hang out a little bit and then we see some more selling pressure. You got a great entry, by the way, but my entry won't be great here. If
I mean, my
so.
target on AMD would be a movement down. I mean, I think we could easily get down to 140 if it starts moving. So there should be plenty of distance. AMD has an ATR of $6.25. So if I hit the top, I should be able to get to 140.
There it goes. And that was the move on that pullback. Missed it. Nvidia here. Nvidia's going the other direction, actually. Nvidia's still going to retest the pre-market high. But again, it's just so extended from the VWAP for me. I like playing close to the VWAP, and Nvidia's not going to work for me there. Yeah, what's the market doing? So Nvidia's fighting the market. If you look at the market, yeah, Nvidia is fighting the overall trend here as the SPY is sliding a bit. So it's trying. Just trying there. GameStop stuck sideways. Man, Tesla just keeps going. So new low for Tesla. If you're in that one, it is just and it's just following the overall market, right? So highway to hell at the moment. Yes, it's following the overall sell-off that's happening now. Nvidia and AMD are the only two in my main watch list that are in the green. Do you trust Nvidia for high if they break out here? I mean, that's a tricky one. What does John think? Where's John? Is John in that?
I mean, the thing is if Nvidia breaks and starts running, and that makes it, let's say that the low of day on Nvidia is going to be 109.40, then with Nvidia having an ATR of around $6.25, your reasonable expectation for a movement off of 109.40, right? Stinking at math, but you'd be saying something around like 115 or something like that. 115 is way outside of the range. So it is highly unlikely that this is going to go outside of R6, which it would need to in order to satisfy that ATR direction. So it's significantly more likely, even if not, I mean, I'm not saying it isn't going to do that, because right now the order book actually looks quite bullish, right? So I'm not going to say it's not going to do that, but I'm just saying if you're going to try and get a larger move on it, whatever profit you're going to need to get within, within between here and like, 113 or 114, so you're going to need to take advantage of a $2 move to a $3 move. As long as you can do that, roll with it. For me, I wouldn't be along here just because of just the range expectation. But like I said, the order book looks pretty bullish.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. AMD is. I mean, I'm happy with Nvidia that's doing that, because I do have a options play on it, so that's good. At least we're doing okay there. So that's nice. But yeah, going long here for me, I'll be definitely chasing. It would have worked out. That's a $1 move almost there already. But
I mean, it's an R4 trending breakout, higher range. It broke through, pulled back to R4, came off of R4 with volume. It's good. Just for me, because I go for, remember when I talk about my positions, I don't take partials, I don't move to break even, and I hold for 4R targets. So if I bought it like 110.75 and my stop ended up being 110 or something crazy like that, or 50 cent to 25 cent stop, I'm going to need to get a $2 or $3 move in order to hit my target. So a lot of my decisions I make are just on how likely it is to get my full move, because I don't take partials.
Yeah. AMD is looking to go lower, testing the low of the day there.
Still holding.
Yeah. Let's see. You mentioned 140 on this one, right? What's the potential move on AMD?
Easily, yeah,
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it could go as low as, I mean, if you just look at yesterday's low is at 137.50. So, I mean, there's no reason we can't go back to yesterday's low.
Right. Question over on YouTube. How do we calculate the ATR? So the way we have set up, we could do a couple of ways. We have it the average movement during the day for the last 14 days, right? That's how we calculate here in our scanners. But there's several ways you could do that.
You want to know another fun stat,
ATR.
Carlos?
Yeah,
you want
for
another
it,
fun stat?
Yeah.
So in our webinar last night, and if you subscribe to BBT and you get the elite membership, you can still watch that webinar's recording. One of the things we talked about was we ran a report on AMD last night, and it was a gap fill report that shows you how often, if AMD gaps, it closes that gap. And you know that stat was almost 3/4 of the time.
Wow.
It was very, very high. It was it was actually like 65 or 67% that AMD, when it opens higher than it closes, it likes to fill at least 70% of that gap almost every single time. Right. So this is one of the other reasons why I was kind of thinking AMD maybe for a short, right? Because we opened gapped up. So we're looking so I wanted to see if it would fill that gap, which is what happens more often than not, it's why PDC is the king of all levels, right? Because, basically PDC, moving back to PDC is a gap fill from the open. So, but it's a fun one. So, but we had some really fun stats that we went through. We talked about average trading ranges, true ranges, all kinds of fun stuff in there. So I hope, if anyone out there in YouTube land wants to check that out, I'd highly recommend it. Some good stuff.
Yeah, man. SPY is turning a little bit, and NVIDIA is cranking, man. This thing is on fire. So making a new high there. This could be one of those days where NVIDIA just rips, people's face off. If you're sitting short here, be very, very careful. NVIDIA can do this. It's
gonna hit its range edge is for this particular range, which is being created by the high of the 4th. So that's 113.27 is the high of the 4th. So 112.50 is basically the top of the calculated range. So we got about another buck or so. And then, I would start looking to see if our sellers start stepping in. If they don't, it should be a big signal. It should be a lot of selling, like an obviously large amount of selling. So if you don't see that, just keep holding if you're long, because NVIDIA continues to cycle more orders to the top side. And, retail's in on it. Institutions are happy to let it go higher. Why not? You know what I mean? High value on the daily for NVIDIA is at like $125. So there's a lot of top side on NVIDIA as far as the daily chart goes. So there's no reason this thing can't just buy.
Let's see. Oh man, yeah. Look at NVIDIA. It is a party. That's for sure.
Go. That's awesome. It is I wish I had longed it off R4. That'd have been a good one.
Yeah. That is a party there. GameStop not doing a whole lot. I think the action is with AMD and NVIDIA. That's where the action is right now. At least NVIDIA's got all the other good stuff happening. Let's take a look at Apple and some other ones that maybe we don't have on our list that we know can trade very well. Apple right now got volume, but not really doing a whole lot. Mara is have it on my secondary list. Dropped off a little bit, but not really going anywhere. And then PLTR, I know a lot of people like this one, so I have this one on deck as well. Just a brutal start, but now it's getting interesting as the SPY is moving higher. This can be a good situation here if we do. I hate this stock, but what if we go long here? This looks like it wants to break out.
Which one?
PLTR. I don't like trading this stock, but I like the setup right now above the VWAP. We could set our stop just slightly below it. Let's go long on this thing. Why not? What do we got to lose? Just a couple of dollars. It's okay. All right, so we're going long here. I like the setup on it. I'm not a big fan of this ticker and the way the price action works, but let's see where this goes here. So long PLTR, guys, here at a 34.08. Let's see. NVIDIA is going. GameStop.
You've got a good size seller at 34.10. If you can get through them, you're good to go.
That'd be nice if we can get there. Not typically my type of trade, but gotta give you guys some action over on YouTube.
So there's some of the aspects of it I like. There's kind of a value gap between 34.20 and 34.50. So if it can get through 34.10, it'll probably It'll probably like leap through once it breaks pre-market high. Basically, it would probably take off and run to 34.50 really fast. But it's got a seller sitting right here, basically high.
Yeah, 34.11. I see someone there as well. So let's see if we could break through that.
Yeah, 34.20 has like a 350 lot that keeps iceberging or is sitting there right at the top of pre-market high, basically.
You know, which would have been probably the better one, Mara, but because they trade much better. They're getting above the VWAP now, but the setup on PLTR is cleaner, I think. But Mara has a better continuation.
I think it's a good setup.
No? Yeah.
That's all we can do, buddy, is, you just look at
what
looks the best
we started
and sling some arrows at it and see what happens.
Yeah. We started P Capital. I did my first meeting with P Capital team yesterday, and they're going to be seeing all my trades live. Not live, but I'm going to record for them as much as I can because I do share with them. And I told them that you'd be surprised. I don't trade as much. You're going to be surprised how little I trade when it comes to the number of trades per week. But when I do trade, I try to make them as best quality as possible. And that,
I probably only average like 2 trades a day or 3 trades. I probably only average like 2 or 3 trades a day at most.
Yeah, that's it. The minute I reduce the number of trades I take is when I started seeing, a better success in my trading. It's just, that's what it is. I was trading way too much.
We're not nearly as exciting, Carlos, for these YouTube people out there. You can tell because we only have 281
we're really
likes.
Not.
If we were more exciting, I'd have more than 281 likes. I would have like at least 400 likes. But we don't have Brian here, so I can't say like for Brian. I mean, you could still like for Brian, even though Brian's not here. But I really appreciate it.
I think you need to like for Carlos for staying longer. Carlos is here.
I am
Carlos is here. Carlos is trading the open. If you want him to do it more, you need to make sure he knows you like him.
Yeah.
Show your appreciation for Carlos.
No, I appreciate that. I'm happy to be here, man. But I'm so tired just because I went to sleep too late watching our 2 candidates yesterday. And by the time I actually fell asleep and then waking up, the kids woke up today at 5:30. I mean, that is just brutal, man. It's not a time to wake up.
My son wakes up at he's in middle school. He wakes up at 5:30
what is wrong with these kids,
morning.
Man?
Dude, what's wrong with school? Like, just make it at 10 a.m. Who cares? Like, why do they need to be home by 4 p.m.? They can stay out till 7. I don't care. Kid's 12. Rotate them later.
I tell you, man, this is it's fun. It's fun.
Man.
All right, but yeah.
You're like...
No, I wish I do have to trade live again because I want to come. Even today with the pre-market show, you could tell that the energy was very low, but I had to trade when I'm more in better shape. So we will do that for you guys.
Carlos.
But over on YouTube, guys, we really appreciate you guys hanging on here and watching the backup team to the live trading this morning as our other team does their thing. So hit that thumbs up. Really appreciate it. For those that have done it already, thank you so much. So, all right, we're sitting in on PLTR, and this is what I don't like about PLTR. It takes so long to get going. I just don't like it. The more that it hangs out here, the least that I like it. And I'll start getting impatient. I still got a little more patience left, but I'll start getting impatient just getting out of this thing. Like, we got to make the move now, right? I don't want to go into another 2 5-minute charts and still be hanging around here trying to figure out what's going on. So as a momentum trader, you want to get in and you want to see it happen. And that's not taking place right now with PLTR. Looking at NVIDIA, on the other hand, little pullback to the 20. Can we recover? Or is this an engulfing on the 5 to the bottom? What are we thinking here?
Nice trade, Pierre.
What did he take?
Pierre, one of the mods in the room, got a really lovely short on Apple. It looks like a pretty
clean. I see that. I have it up on the screen if you could show it.
That's an R4. That's an R4 rejection there as well. Man, Pierre, nailing those. Good job, brother. Wow. So good. I'm on AMD. It's I literally have this. Look at my screen, Pierre. I literally have the same trade. I'm just like, yours is a Apple here. Boom. And look at my AMD right now. It's like the same trade.
Where's your trade so I can bring it up? Are you sharing your screen? Oh, you have your screen. I could
in the BBT. I got it.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I see it. So, Brian, if you could show my screen, I'm not sure if we have it up, but if you guys see this is what, for those that don't know over on YouTube, this is what our screen looks like, right? Our moderators have their list here and any announcements. You see Thor sharing his screen here. And then you have our members, our beautiful, happy members here, trading, communicating, sharing what they've done. So again, it's pretty great environment, guys. If you have not tried it out, please do so. You can try it out for $1. So you can really come in here for $1 and try it out. Here's Eamon. What did Eamon do? Eamon always
Eamon got him a pinpoint, and it's a pretty one.
Yeah.
So Eamon does these pinpoint strategies. Y'all on YouTube remember Eamon? He was on just like a week or so ago, and he did a very lovely presentation for everybody. But Eamon has these pinpoint strategies. They're like 8-to-1 captures when he hits them. So they have a very great RVR rate. You can take 5 or 6 losses on them and then still end up with really solid green days with just 1 or 2 wins. Very good strategy. Definitely worth checking out. And it's really awesome. You can see there Carlos showing. Look at that. Gorgeous. And basically on a pin bar
beautiful, man. Yeah.
Off of that habit. Isolated pivot, pin bar, full target. Mwah. Chef's kiss.
Yeah. And what I want to show here, like you guys prepare with Peter and I every morning, right? But you're something like this, we will probably not look at. It just kind of tells you that all depends on your trading style. Like Eamon still looked at this and he still got a great trade, regardless of the pre-market being horrible, right? So there's other criteria that he's looking at to take advantage of this trade. So many different type of trading styles. There's no right or wrong way of doing it. So many ways you can trade here. So nice job, Eamon. Okay, I gotta pay attention. I should have stopped out of this. What's going on?
Megan wasn't gonna miss out on the phone, out on the fun here. Look at Megan chiming in. NVIDIA long. Megan one up. Of us had to take advantage of NVIDIA going stinking long. I'm glad Megan did. Good grief.
Yeah, but Megan's entry is nice. I mean, add, and then partial. Great job.
She does for everyone. Megan's pairing of like higher time frame and then and utilizing those concepts for key levels and trade ideas is just brilliant. So look at that. Yeah. Look at the mods coming in strong today. Good to see everybody. Thanks for all the.
Did we put the 2 wrong people to trade live this morning? Should we have had Megan or like Eamon or something? These guys are crushing it over here, man.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, I'm still holding an AMD short that I've been waiting on my whole life. But yeah, I think we're more boring, Carlos. It definitely seems that way. But someone told me once that boring trading is good trading. And I'm going to pretend that's true, at least for the duration of this show. And then tomorrow, if I have a lot of trades, I'll just say it's exciting trading's better. No, my target for AMD is actually a movement to 140. I'm looking for a movement all the way back to 140. So I'm going to try and make some good money on this one.
You call that since you got into this trade, you was looking for 140, right? Based on the data.
We just filled our gap.
Looking good.
So we're back to PDC now. So we just completed our gap fill. So this is kind of the moment I'm looking for now, is to see, do we continue moving lower? But so we were talking about why short AMD here. Well, the stats show that AMD fills its gap. If it opens higher, it fills the gap the vast majority of the time. So it was almost kind of like, we were in a selling range being under R4. It was struggling finding buyers to go higher. And we had PDC. Jared, AMD, PDC, done. Yeah, boy. So great minds thinking alike. So it just, it's one of those benefits where those stats can really come in and help you out when you're trying to put a trade idea together. Why did I like AMD today specifically? I liked because it had gapped a bit. So, which is pretty fun.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Look at the SPY, guys. Take a look here. We have a pretty good sell-off over the last couple of minutes, and you're starting to see the tide turn on some of these stocks like Tesla, sliding down. Well, Tesla's been sliding down since forever, but you can see it came to the VWAP and then just heading back down a little bit. But NVIDIA, probably the ones that has turned the corner quite a bit over the last couple of minutes. You can see that drop there on NVIDIA. So I am still in PLTR, and again, I probably would have stopped out there, but I was having fun.
Can anyone point out where NVIDIA started to sell from?
I don't have. Do you have?
I'm pretty sure someone said like right around like 112 when it got up to around R6.
R6.
That's my R6 is like 112 to 112.50 was my mark to look for the sell to start. So my R6 is 112 and like 15 cents. So it really went right to the edge of the selling range. So remember we were talking about the ATR and just kind of how, in order to go long there on NVIDIA, I would need the ATR to, would have to make this thing go way outside of range, which is why I didn't want to take it. This is an exact reason of why, even if I was long, I would not have hit my target and I would have just been stopped out of that trade. Even though I would have been positive for 10 or 15 minutes holding that trade. And once it came back down, it wouldn't have worked. But what did work is PLTR. Are you still holding?
Yeah, I'm still here. Oh, yeah, I'm still here. I am.
Yeah, you weren't even watching it.
See.
You driving with your hands off the wheel.
You.
What's going on over there?
No. I only have 2 monitors, so it's a little bit handicap over here. But yeah, here we go, man. And I was paying attention to what my boy was saying, so I'm not gonna be looking at my trades. And my friend is talking here. All right,
I'm paying attention to what you're doing. You're paying attention to what I'm doing. It's much love.
There we go. Right, we'll see what we do here. The SPY is selling down so much. I don't know if this thing is gonna hang out for long. I might just take everything off here. I think this is the best we're gonna get. If I look at the overall market, I don't think this can withstand the sell-off that we're getting.
Get that lunch money locked in for the day.
Yeah, at least some lunch money. So let's see here.
So much bromance in us, dude. You don't understand.
I did.
Carlos and I have we get. You just tanked the market.
No, actually, I added by mistake a little bit, but I'm all out of it. I added by mistake a little bit there.
All right, no worries. Just a little slip. No big deal.
Yeah, it's all good. Nah, it's just fine. It's fine. Still a good trade.
Still good money. Still good money.
Yeah. But I'm all out of that.
It's just hot dogs instead of lobster, thanks to a hotkey.
Yeah, exactly. Watch it go. That mistake might have messed me up, guys. Look at this. It's probably gonna go now. I wanted to partial and I screwed it up. I don't add to my trades, by the way. Some people do. Like, saw Megan today. She added. Great adding to her trades. Andrew has upped this game on adding. He wasn't a great adder before, but he's really good at it now. And people just, got a couple of people that like to add. And of course, we know Paris is like our adding genius over here. He adds on every little move, so he does very well with that.
I stink at adding, which is why I don't do it. So I used to try.
Me neither.
I found that my advantage was kind of knowing where the price couldn't go and getting my stop out there, or wouldn't go, unlikely to go. As soon as I start trying to add, my stops come inside the range and I just start getting wicked out all over the place. And then I FOMO, ROMO, and all those kind of fun stuff. So,
We got a question over here on YouTube by Mr. Solution. He says, does the ATR only apply to the open or also in the PM? I think the 14-day applies to, is it intraday or is it the daily? I'm not sure, actually. I gotta find out how the 14-day applies.
Yeah, it's a most ATR programs are using 14 or 15 period ATRs. So you're looking back 14 to 15 trading days to calculate your ATR. If you're looking at ATR on a smaller time frame, like your 1 minute or stuff, you can set any period you want. So if you use ATR on your 1 minute chart, for instance, then you'll be looking at the ATR per minute to minute if you have a period of 1, or if you do a period of 14, we'll call it the average true range in this instance. But if you're looking at Thinkorswim, I think Thinkorswim's period's 15 days. DOS uses a 14-day ATR, and it's if you want to configure it on your volume chart, you can use a 14-day.
Yep, awesome, man. That is how
Come on, AMD. Let's do this. We can lose PDC. We're going to be having a lot of fun. But we're finding a buyer right at PDC.
Your biggest challenge would be this PDC, king of all levels. But if you break that down, man, that would be awesome. But you already got a great trade on here.
Yeah, great things going. The market's actually starting to move lower, and that pullback that we did in pre-market, now that I'm looking at it, I mean, we had a really nice rally on really low volume at the open. We basically started selling at the open, and so far the VPA is supported in an advanced lower basically every step of the way on the market. So if the market continues to move lower, which it certainly can, then I might have a shot on this one. So we'll see what's going. But unfortunately for everyone out there in YouTube land, I actually have a 10 a.m. appointment that I have to go to. Part of the reason why Carlos is hanging in here and not getting sleep. So I got to take off for the morning. I will be back on tomorrow, however. So I really appreciate everybody out there hanging out with us and having a good morning. Thank you, of course, for the likes and the shares and all of that fun stuff you're doing. Everyone in BBT, I will see you all in an hour for 11 o'clock trading. And everyone out on YouTube, see you tomorrow. Much love. Keep it green. Carlos, brother, I miss you. It's so fun getting to trade with you, man.
Yeah, we haven't got together in a while, so let's definitely do that. My friend, thanks for trading here, and we'll chat in a bit.
Always a pleasure, brother.
All right. Mike, good morning. How are you, man?
Hey, how you doing, Carlos?
Doing good.
I saw you trading PLTR. I did the same
I traded PLTR. You did?
I tried to get this high-a-day break. Right where the pre-market high was. Yeah, right there. And I entered, and then the position exited me right away. Like I was looking at I pulled up my trade log, right? To say, hey, what the heck went on?
Yeah.
And all the shares occurred at the exact same time. The buy and the sell.
In and out?
In and out.
So maybe the order just
got
rejected somehow. That's weird. That's weird, man.
Yeah, let me see. I don't know if I can share, but here, let me post this. Let me post it in the chat room, actually. It was super weird. I've never really experienced something like this, right? Where it would go in and out.
Yeah, we'll actually transact in your
buy,
I've
sell.
never seen that. In my 6 years of trading with DAS, I've never seen that. Somebody needs to explain to you what the heck is that about. That is very weird, man. Never seen that.
I have never seen that in ever.
The market said, we don't like your order. Here, take your shares back.
Here, we know that you got your setup with this awesome break a high a day going on PLTR, but nah, you don't get it.
We don't want you to make. We don't want you to make money. Don't take our cash. That is weird, man. That is weird.
Like that is so weird. And it was a hockey too, where all I did was enter. I don't have an automatic stop on that hotkey, which is what's so strange too. Yeah, Peter, exactly. Thank you for your commission. So
that's
I couldn't believe it, man.
Well, what? I want to. I mean, it's only one trade. It's not going to make a difference for you, but it's still like, what is that about? You know.
I don't.
All right, friends over on YouTube, we're sitting at 373 likes. We'd love to get a little bit higher. We have 609 people watching the show, so thank you so much for being on. We really appreciate it. As we're trading live and trying to find opportunities. It's definitely been an interesting day. But yeah, hit that thumbs up if you haven't done so, and if you have, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Definitely. One thing, Carlos, I don't know if we talked about it in the pre-market. NVIDIA is presenting at 10:20 today with Goldman Sachs. So I definitely have NVIDIA kind of on my
10:20 today.
Little eye today at 10:20. I kind of see if something starts going. Our Benzinga that we have in the chat room, Charlie. We all know Charlie. He's one that
Charlie
been talking about it. So,
you know what? I haven't had it on because I've been live here, so I haven't heard Charlie today. But friend, for those over that are new in our chat room, if Brian, if you could show this little Benzinga logo here, if you click on that, you're going to open up an audio, and you're going to be able to hear Charlie talking and calling things out. And it's a great news feature to look things up. So this squawk right here will do that for you.
That right there is worth your membership alone. I'm telling you.
Oh, yes.
You pay your membership, Squawk's going to give that back to you very quickly. Yeah. I cannot count the number of times I've gotten good trades because of Benzinga and the Squawk that we have.
Yeah.
I noticed that our backgrounds are the same, Carlos. Like I have a blank wall. You got a blank wall.
Yeah, let me check out. Yeah, man. It looks like could be sitting next to each other here, man. I'm gonna get some kind of tree or something here, some kind of plant, not tree, plant. I'm gonna get something. But did you see my picture from my office? It is pretty much
I saw that was crazy.
insane right now. Yeah. So
Yeah. I'm getting those wall stickers because I'm going to be moving so much, because in December I'm going to be in the DR. So I'm just going to have probably a yellow wall behind me. And then in January, I'll be back to California for a little bit. And then I don't know where we're going to go after California. We wanted to go to Europe in February, but because of the meetup that we have, March 29th in Vancouver, we're thinking about waiting till after that to go. I don't know, though. It's pretty cold over in Oregon to hang out there for a couple months. And I definitely don't want to hang out in California. So no offense to anybody that lives.
You had enough of Cali.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely. So Hannah, I will probably hang out at Santo Domingo for the majority of it, but my wife's parents have a place over in Pedernales as well. So we'll go over there for a little bit as well. And they're doing some major revamps over in that area, Carlos. I know you're from
Dominican Republic, and I got family in Santo Domingo, so I got family all over down there. But man, they're doing some pretty cool stuff there. So
Pedernales, super small place, never really had anything. They're bringing cruise ships in now, down over in Cabo Rojo.
Yeah, it's because you know what is other major places like Punta Cana, which is usually what you hear about. They're just so packed, man. Everybody's starting to realize how inexpensive and great it is, and how good the service is, and it's really safe when you're in those places. So, they're packed. They're packed. So they're looking for other places to kind of take over. So it's good and bad.
Yeah. And just so everybody knows, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Just so everybody knows, I'm like John. I'm a high-day trader, so I got a lot of alerts on this stuff right now. Just kind of sitting, waiting for the market to come back up, since I missed that wonderful PLTR trade because, I don't know, they wanted my commissions today or something. So, so I'm just sitting, waiting, lurking. And that's important. I think what did Thorin, you were talking about it earlier, right? Not trading is trading, right? Sometimes you have to make sure that you're not trying to force trades, because if you try to go shake the market for money, you'll tend to find out that it laughs at you and takes your own money back.
Oh yeah,
it's just the way it is.
It loves doing that.
So never force. Sit back, find your strategy. Once you have that, just wait for it and be patient. Understand that the market may run without you, but when it does that, it may, if you decide that you want to take that trade and possibly make some money off that crappy setup that you had, you might get lucky. At that point, you're gambling, but 9 times out of 10, the next time you try it, it's gonna wipe your account out. So be very, very cautious with what you're doing. And Andrew talks about it a lot too, right? With the PTT accounts, it's hard to keep money. Easy to make the money. It's hard to keep the money, and that's what I think we're experiencing. We saw a couple of traders make some good money in the PTT account, and then that overconfidence and adding into losing trades
all the time. Yeah. I see it all the time.
I am an avid, or I don't know what the right word is, but if you add to losing trades to get that break even back lower and lower and lower and eventually catch that bounce back up, that's a dangerous recipe. If you go to SMMT, Brent or Carlos, so we can pull it up there, go to yesterday.
Yep, I got you.
If you go to yesterday,
you want the intraday or the daily?
The 5. Give me the 5 minute on the SMT yesterday. Yeah, we'll show it pretty good. We got the 1 minute up there. Or am I delayed?
Oh, hold on. Yeah, no. This is the 1 minute. I got you the 5 right over here.
Yeah.
And this is yesterday, 9:10. Yep. So I got yesterday.
Yeah. So as you see, SMT kind of sold off there. And trader initially bought down at the low, kind of caught it on the way back up, made some decent profit on there. But right about 9:40, started shorting. And then as it started to peel back up above 10 o'clock, shorted, added in, expended all the buying power in the account, and then held it till the end of the day in hopes that it would come back down, right? And as you see that just kind of tick all the way up, it's just a recipe for disaster. Sure, maybe that stock comes down and you get lucky 1, 2, 3. Yeah, John kind of put it right there. So that will do. That is something that you don't want to do. And the best part about this trader is it wasn't real money for him, right? Like it wasn't real money. Luckily, he's investing in education to learn from it. So you learn from it and you move on. And I bring this up because that's how I used to trade, especially in sim. I would do that in the sim account, right? I would make money because you can do that in your sim account, right? And get it, and then you can reset it. But then I saw Andrew in that Yelp trade he had, and I was like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't do this. And that's when I changed my whole aspect of trading. Right? Hey, risk management's the most important thing. You have to abide by it. When a stock hits your stop, you stop out. If you don't, if it goes back in your direction, the best part about it is you can always get back in. That's the key. So very, very important learning experience that trader experienced. And he's not the only one. I think we all do it at some point because it only makes sense, right? Logical. So that's just always be careful and cognizant of that. So
yeah. Agree 100%, man. Happens so often. I was looking at it. So Nvidia, so it's funny. I was looking at this. This makes sense why they had such a big push up this morning, because this talk they're having with Goldman Sachs. And what is it? I don't think I ever heard of this. Is presenting at Goldman Sachs communications something and technology? I don't think I've seen this conference before. Is this a yearly thing, or is this something that's just
I've never seen it. Probably something happening. I'm assuming Goldman Sachs is I mean, it's an investor, right? So they're probably presenting to people that are looking to invest in NVIDIA into some type of communications, AI, I'm assuming chip industry with the way that NVIDIA does it. So we'll see. But I really am, because I mean, if you look at it, right, we pushed up in the morning on NVIDIA. We've now pulled all the way back down to basically the open price. And now we are just kind of chopping around it. Depending on what they say, we might get some movement out of it. So I'm keeping my eye on it. But the market really is selling off. And right now, the SPY, the SPY is down where I calculated today's expected move. 544.02 is what I calculated. And we're below that. So maybe we'll find a bottom, or it could get real ugly from here. So
I'm surprised that some of these stocks are still holding. Like, and NVIDIA has sold off, but it's holding here. It's not really following the SPY right now. And then some other ones are kind of stalling, but the SPY is really putting a lot of pressure towards the downside right now. POTR, I'm glad I got out of that. I thought this thing was going to take off. When I saw this candle here, I'm like, this is going to hit 35 or something. That's a very strong candle, but SPY is too strong right now towards the downside. So pulling things down pretty aggressively here.
It's crushing everything right now, which doesn't bode well for high-a-day traders. But hey, you never know. We might find something that decides. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how things look in a couple of minutes.
So
Mara
it's
making a new low.
Yeah, so it's a Goldman Sachs technology conference is what Charlie just said. So it must be gonna be talking AI, I'm sure, right?
Yep.
So definitely talking AI. Yeah, NVIDIA's selling, I mean, everything.
Yeah, it's losing it now. Mina over on YouTube is asking, can you do a low of day breakout? Yeah, breakdown. You could do low of day as well.
Yes.
You could do both. There's strategies for both. Some people prefer high of day for some reason. I feel like a lot of people that talk, they prefer the high of day opposed to the low of day. I don't know why that is, but you
Yeah.
can do both.
I've actually tried both, and they tend to trade a little bit differently, right? High days tend to break out and go, and that's what I want to see, right? Like that PLTR, right? That went, it broke, it went, and then it may continue the trend or it may lose it and fail. But I can trade that kind of well. With the low of day, what I saw a lot is it would break the low of day and immediately pull back up and then make another rundown. So it was more of a reverse style of trading. It just didn't work because I wanted the trade to work right away. I didn't want to get into a trade and then have it pull back up, right? And then be in a losing position for it to go back down. So I also think it has to do with psychology of traders, right? If you're breaking the low of day, there's a lot of fear, right? A lot of fear, stocks going lower. Not every trader, especially in the retail market, trade short, right? A lot of accounts are limited by that. So going short probably has some impact on that as well. And then at the high of day, everybody wants to buy at the high, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Going to the moon. I have seen there are traders in RP Capital Trading that trade a low of day that have done extremely well. So there is a valid strategy out there. It's all about finding one that fits you, right? And your personality. Ooh, I got my Iowa cup today of all things. Look at that. Iowa. Middle corn. I collect Starbucks cups if anybody didn't know. Every
is
state.
Is that from Starbucks? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's Starbucks cup. So
yeah, nice.
So this one's Iowa. I am going up to Iowa today. My daughter's playing today. Team's playing. My daughter's. I think they're gonna redshirt her this year. We'll see. From her injury, so we will.
Nice, man. Enjoy that. Enjoy that. Guys, we're 2 minutes from this conference, so we'll see. It might not happen right at 10:20, but we'll see throughout the conference if they mention anything fun that might be interesting. But things are just sliding. It is red all over here. What was in green is in the red, and Nvidia's not far from being in the red here if it can hold. But everything, even PLTR, look at the drop we got over the last 10 minutes or so. Everything just going south. So it keeps dropping.
The Qs are down by the expected view, kind of bouncing off of that. SPY's down almost 1.3%. Qs about 1%. So it's not a pretty day for long traders.
Yeah, yeah. Here is Tesla. So Tesla right now testing, well, created a new low from today, and it was a good short. The market open. Like if I was watching this close, I would have probably taken a short here. And I say that with a lot of confidence because I know how I trade for doing it for so many years that I know, okay, this is something that if I would have seen playing out, I would have definitely taken a short on. And man, it has been south since then.
Yeah.
GameStop.
Yeah,
No.
Yeah, Oracle, I don't like Oracle either. Did you get into Oracle, John? I want to see if John got into Oracle. So you did. Hopefully back at like 950, right? 950.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go. That's a nice
954.
Nice one. Yeah, that he got a good move out of that one. 954 is good. Yeah, sell off bloody day today. It's there. Here we go.
Man, this is
let's see if NVIDIA wants to do anything. It's got to say something to really intrigue investors, or it's just going to dump.
Yeah.
So NVIDIA. I'm looking at the book map on NVIDIA. Yeah, it's pretty even across top and bottom right now. Even though I really was expecting NVIDIA to get to that 112 before dropping off. I did think it would get to 112, but it did not do it.
I mean, on the high on NVIDIA, I mean, we got
close.
11193. I'll call that a win. That was pretty close. Yeah.
And the SPY is just dragging.
Yeah, I'm looking at the daily. We're past the low of the last 2 days, and then we got the next one coming up all the way down here. This would have been Friday, so the low of Friday. We'll see how that goes, but pretty weak here.
Look at that ABCD pattern on that daily chart right there.
Yeah. I just keep looking at PLTR. I don't know if anybody took this short, but this is turning out to be a really nice short on here. So just broke the low of the day there, and man, it's just giving all the gains from this intraday action back right now. So
I'm actually surprised Oracle is holding up nicely. That's the only stock that really hasn't dropped back down to the low of day. It's still above VWAP too, hanging out. So wonder what it will do if the SPY or the Qs start to rebound here. Here we go. NVIDIA making a little bounce, but no volume in that. Well, a little bit near the end. They must have started talking now.
Yeah. I turned off Squawk, so I don't know if you actually mentioned anything.
I got it on. Nobody's saying anything right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it. I got you in my right ear and Squawk in the left ear. Little military trick there.
There you go.
So that I can see,
there you go.
Hear both.
Very nice.
That way you can. I found that if you have both, like when you have noise coming in both ears and it's always there, it's very annoying. And you can't concentrate. But if you got it only in one ear and then it comes on, you can tune it out, or you can focus which side you want to focus in on. So Jordan, if you click on that Benzinga logo up at the top of our chat room, boom, you'll be right into Squawk. Same with you, Sam. Hey, Squawk is our news alert system, known by, we had Charlie come in here.
People don't know about this. Definitely use it
to you before it gets posted.
Yeah. That's like you mentioned earlier. That service alone pays for your monthly membership at
it absolutely does.
It is really, really good, especially when earnings come out, right? I mean, it is so fast. It's faster than a lot of stuff that we have out there, because there's a person talking to you, right? There's nobody that needs to type it and put it together and send it out. There's someone actually reading it to you right away live. So it's pretty good. And I like the way he does it. It's not like a radio chat. It's not like someone just constantly talking. It's like, West Fargo's maintaining overweight on BXP, raises target to $80. And then he goes quiet again. when something else comes out, he'll talk again, right? So it's really straightforward and to the point. So.
John, you're funny.
With the John share a meme or something? What's a good
No, he
John
just
doing?
announced that NVIDIA is making a cannabis-themed electric vehicle powered by blockchain technology.
That sounds like a winner. Getting all the hockey words there. So
driven by AI.
Starbucks, a nice long on Starbucks, a good buddy, big wrestler. Oh, look
NVIDIA
at
is
Starbucks.
finding
Yeah,
a bottom at R3.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at Starbucks. Where'd you find Starbucks?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up. Pig Wrestler brought it up on our chat here. He probably thought about it because you were talking about your cup. But yeah, look at this. This is
look at that.
Pretty nice.
So NVIDIA pulled back to yesterday's high.
Well, actually,
also like 4 days ago's high as well. So see if it wants to do some.
Look at GameStop down 17%.
GameStop crushing. I agree with you, Carlos. Every time I see a GameStop, I'm like, how do you still stay in business with this blockchain? Every game I've bought for my PlayStation in the last 2 years is directly over the
internet. Yeah.
Why am I going to GameStop? For you reversal traders, NVIDIA might have been nice if you were watching it. Kind of bottomed out, starting to push back up. Gonna get it over the pre-market high here, possibly.
So it looks like actually Claire Rice. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. She was the one that actually mentioned Starbucks.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, man, going back to GameStop, I do the same thing. I pay for so many damn subscriptions. I pay for Xbox. I think the Microsoft gaming things, you could download any game you want off their app. And me and my son just download a whole bunch of stuff looking for good car racing games. And you're right, it's just I pay a membership. It's like $20, I think it is, whatever it is. And you just download whatever game you want. Why would I go to GameStop to buy something? And just doesn't make sense. And then when you're done with it, you could delete it, save memory on your computer, and download another one. So it's a weird business model. How these guys are still around. It's that Blockbuster type business theme that somehow is still surviving. So strange.
Still surviving somehow, some way. So
I used to work at Blockbuster in Canada before it shut down, and the thing we always got from head office was, oh, people love coming into the store to rent movies. They love the experience.
Of course.
And once a company argues customer loves the experience, they're losing, because customers just want easy access, right? And they lost the narrative on that pretty quickly, and then shut down and went bankrupt.
Yep. There's only one.
You gotta blame these guys for doing that. These little envelopes here, they killed Blockbuster. I used to love this thing. You set up your queue. You remember that? You set up your queue and then you get them 3 in the mail. I mean, come on.
Send one back in, the next one comes, and boom, boom. And Netflix was smart. Like they put Blockbuster out, but they were smart enough to adapt and realized, hey, how about we just do this streaming thing?
Yeah.
And then we save not only on, we no longer have to buy all this CD-ROMs and shipping and mailing, and we just put it onto the internet and make people pay a subscription to it.
I think Blockbuster also had the chance to buy Netflix, right?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did. They didn't.
They didn't. Again, once they get in their head, oh, people love Blockbuster the way it is, that's when a company fails.
You should have bought them.
I don't know if it's on Netflix or if it's on
The
Prime.
Netflix documentary
movie out there. There's a documentary or a movie or something on that Blockbuster deal with Netflix that they screwed it up how they went out. I think it
I
involved
haven't
around
seen that.
the last Blockbuster store that's in Oregon. Like it's independently owned. They call it Blockbuster. They were Blockbuster and they like bought it and they've kept it open. They even got the Blockbuster card and everything. So
Really? Is it still open now?
yeah, still open now. Let me see. Blockbuster, Oregon. There,
That was one of my favorite jobs. I got 10 free rentals a week, and then I got all new
I'm sure
DVDs a week before it came out. It was great. Good times.
There you go. BenBlockbuster.com.
Opens up at 10:30 a.m. The last Blockbuster. You couldn't compete. I mean, the amount of real estate space, commercial space you need to have to hold this thing. You know, I mean, they had the stores were massive here in Manhattan. So that just overhead costs. Overhead cost was just too much.
Yeah, definitely. But there is a movie about that. What was it called? That's bothering me now. There's my OCD from being in the Marine Corps. Blockbuster movie. Blockbuster movie. Yeah, the last Blockbuster. That's what it's called, and it talks about that store, and then it also talks about Netflix deal.
Yeah.
And sure enough, of course, it's on. Oh no! Oh, look at this. Is this coming out? Netflix did have a series on Blockbuster. Look at this. Or Carlos, sorry.
Yeah, where
this is funny. I didn't even know that.
Let me click on it.
Click on it.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That could be fun. We might see Brent there doing his thing.
Pour some salt in that wound, Netflix.
Yeah. So many good deals like that, guys. And who was the other one? BlackBerry had the same problem too. They didn't.
Oh, yeah.
They had an opportunity to do a deal with, I think, was it Google or for the apps and the software or something, and they didn't. Yep. And I used to love those phones, but that was the killer. That was the killer there.
They love the tick. They love the keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good movie too, Jamie. BlackBerry on Prime. That's a good one. Yep. Just like Brent said, right? They love the experience. BlackBerry's like, people love the ticks. They won't change.
Just denial.
Yep.
Agreed. But
I remember
we got into this whole conversation.
Oh, sorry. I remember them telling us this.
No, go ahead.
And we're all, in our, I was 18 at the time, and we're all young, and we're just like, hey, you know that there's the internet, and we can download any movie we want for free or cheaply. And they just couldn't get that through their head. They just couldn't get through their head that people would rather have easy access to the movies rather than, rummaging around for an hour at a Blockbuster and then not having the movie they want because it's all sold out. I just think they just couldn't get it through their head.
Or pull the DVD at home and you get halfway through and it's all scratched up and you can't get it to play, so it just skips. Yeah. That used to annoy
But I had
me.
a great time. I worked there for 4 years and had a good time working there.
I worked at Hollywood Video.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Nice.
It was fun to work in those stores. I will admit that. Plus, I got free movies. And when you're poor with a brand new wife and a kid on the way and the military
the free movies
paying you crap, you got to have some type of entertainment. And there's no better way than, hey, I can watch free movies.
On slow days, I'd play Planet Earth or Lord of the Rings as I worked on the screen instead of their promo trailer.
There you go.
Question is, are we still live? Yeah, we are still live on YouTube.
Yeah, look at
things are very quiet, so we're just kind of going off the rails here a little bit. You guys picked the wrong people to have on at this time, because me and Mike, we don't trade during this time. This is like the death zone for us, right? So
yeah,
but we're here. We're watching things and seeing what's going on.
It's also compounded by the fact that the market's selling off, and I'm a high day trader, so it's like, what am I? Well, I'm just sitting, waiting for a ton of alerts to go off, which I don't think is going to happen. I think me and Peter are going to have a boring day in the afternoon too.
Let's see here.
Yeah, NVIDIA not doing much on NVIDIA. PLTR.
Yep. I'm surprised I got actually a green tray on PLTR. The stock that I like the least out of this entire list, I actually got a green trade on. It's sitting on my secondary, so did not expect that was going to be the one I was going to trade today, but that worked out pretty good there. So, all right, guys, we're coming up. We're actually over our time here, but we've been enjoying talking to you guys, just kind of reminiscing of some cool stuff from back in the days. But we're going to shut it down here over our YouTube chat, at least. Friends, thank you so much for joining us here and sticking around and watching us. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't done so already. Subscribe. Absolutely. We'll be back tomorrow for some pre-market stuff and preparing, and then live trading again. So really appreciate that. And we're going to continue on our chat. Mike, thanks for coming on, man, and covering. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem. So thanks, everybody. Always enjoy YouTube. Thanks for your support out there. So we'll see you all tomorrow.
All right. See you.